37, I think it is, of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
I'm Nancy, and this is the only podcast that says...
I call them the strangers. They abducted us and brought us here. This city, everyone in it. It's their experiment. They mix and match our memories as they see fit, trying to divine what makes us unique. One day, a man might be an inspector. The next, someone entirely different. When they want to study a murderer, for instance, they will simply imprint one of their citizens with a new personality, a range of family form, friends, an entire history, even a lost wallet. Then they observe the results. Will a man given the history of a killer continue in vain? Or are we, in fact, more than the sum of our memories?
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
Well, at first I thought you were going to one thing and then you went to another. What is that from?
Dark City.
Oh, I don't know that.
You don't know that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you should see that. Mm-mm. It's a phenomenal movie. It's very subtle.
You mean like slow moving and subtle?
It's slow moving and subtle, but it's not like... It's hard to describe because it's like what you think should be an action movie, but it isn't an action movie.
Okay.
And it's like it's really well done. It was directed by the same guy who directed The Crow.
The original Crow.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Lee Crow.
The Brandon Lee Crow, yeah.
Awesome. I like that one. That's my favorite.
Yeah, and it's got Kiefer Sutherland's in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kiefer Sutherland. The cast is like...
Is it Keith or Kiefer?
Kiefer. Dark City. Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland, Jennifer Connelly, William Hurt.
You lost me there.
Okay, and Rufus Sewell. I know you're not a Jennifer Connelly fan.
No, sorry, I'm not.
But Rufus Sewell, if you'll remember him, he was the villain from A Knight's Tale.
Ah, okay. Well,
he's kind of like the hero in this.
All right, so 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like a really good movie. It's like well, it's called Dark City, so obviously it's dark.
Dark.
But it's like it's just really well done. Like it's a movie I really like a lot.
It just came out this year?
No, it came out in 1998.
Holy shit, I'm behind times.
Yeah, like there are two movies.
I was thinking of an older Kiefer Sutherland, not younger.
There are these two movies. I kind of lump them together because I saw them around the same time. It's Dark City.
Sorry.
Okay. Dark City and the 13th Floor.
Okay.
And they're both kind of... It was like right before The Matrix, but they have a... I don't want to say a Matrix-y feel to them, but they're very... They're both very unique in like the stories that they're telling and how they tell them. Mm-hmm. And they're both just very, very well done. Are they a little
intricate, kind of?
Well, it's kind of
like you have to pay attention to know.
Well, you do have to pay attention, particularly with Dark City. The 13th Floor you do as well because you kind of have to understand what's going on. But it's so well done. Like I can't those are two movies that like I consider like hidden gems. Like if you haven't seen them, look them up.
Okay. Because
they're both very, very well done, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy them.
I was like, that's a dewdrop.
Yeah.
Well, that's like how many movies have the number 3 in it? Like whether it's 13, 33. Did you ever think about that? Did you said 13 doors?
I've never thought about that. No.
Yeah, it's always like number 3 is in a lot of movies.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll take a gander at the trailer.
You should.
Yeah, later on tonight I'll pull it up on my iPad or something.
I think I still have it. The DVD of Dark City. And what's amazing about it is so there's 2 different commentary tracks. There's one with the director, and there's one with Roger Ebert. And the one with Roger Ebert was fascinating to listen to because here's a film critic who I kind of liked, but like with any film critic, I'm like, half the shit I like, they don't.
Yeah.
Half the shit they do, I don't.
It's kind of like the awards in a way.
Right. But Roger Ebert was always kind of like willing to like lower himself and enjoy a movie. That like, that's kind of why I liked him.
Yeah.
I think is like he could kind of like, yeah, this isn't Academy Award winning, but if you really look at it for what it is, it's spectacular.
Right.
And he did a commentary track about Dark City, and like his observations as a film critic about the movie, I found very interesting.
Right.
Like it was a movie he really, really liked, and he was explaining why he really, really liked it.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that's
yeah, but that would be hard to be a film critic because you're kind of forced to watch types of movies that you really don't want to watch, but you can't give. It can't be like a biased opinion. You have to like really dig into the movie and say, for people that really do enjoy that yeah, it would have been a good movie for that person, Well,
I think that's.
But on the other hand, you're watching all those other good movies,
right? But I think that's what you're doing is you're looking at it as the art form, and not as your personal entertainment.
Right, but they have to learn to do that. I would be giving my personal opinion every time.
Right, it's hard for me to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's why I can sit here and say, like, I can appreciate The Godfather for what it is, but I don't like The Godfather.
Right.
Like movies like that, I can sit here
or
and
if I didn't like The Godfather, I'd be like, it was trash.
Right. Like,
the third one.
I can appreciate that somebody has made a phenomenal movie. It's just not for me.
Not your cup of tea.
Right. And I feel that about a lot of genres. Like, I feel that way musically. I think, like, there's music that I just don't appreciate.
Right.
But other people do, and I'm not going to shit all over it. But at the same time, I will say there is some music I do think is just, it's crap. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is music that is crap.
Yeah.
Let's just say it.
Right.
And not all music is good.
Right, but
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. But I do think there are, like you just don't like country music at all.
Dude.
Like, I can freely admit, like, I think there are, I'm not, like, going to go out and, like, go out of my way to listen to it, but there is country music that is good.
I'm guessing there is, but it's not for me.
Right. I mean, it's not for you, but I'm just saying, like,
I mean, thousands of people paying money to go see them play aren't wrong.
Right.
It's just not for me.
Right. Like,
But I will sit here and say music like mumble rap, that's not music.
No.
Stop calling it music. It's not. It's noise. It's just annoying noise.
Yeah. Like anytime, like, somebody sits there and says, like, I went to go see a DJ, I immediately stopped listening.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
You lost me when you said DJ. Like,
yeah.
You paid to watch somebody play with their computer.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be putting this shit together, but they ain't making no sounds.
Right. It's that odd thing, but I mean, that's an entirely different generation of people who were like, I think DJing is the greatest art form. I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not going to compare that to Jimmy Page playing guitar, but okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. No. Yeah, and if you do, there's something wrong with you. Let's break down what music actually is.
I posted, there's a great documentary out there. I've talked about it before, but I'll mention it again because if you haven't watched it and you appreciate the electric guitar, a documentary called It Might Get Loud. And it's Jack White, The Edge from U2, and Jimmy Page. So, like, 3 generations.
You say Jack White, and then you say The Edge from U2. Why didn't you say Jack White from the White Stripes?
Because Jack White has had, like, 6 different bands at this point.
But everybody knows him from the White Stripes.
Right, okay. So, Jack White from the White Stripes.
And, Jimmy Page.
Of Led Zeppelin.
Okay, because I'm telling you, I know some people didn't know who the fuck Robert Plant was. Okay,
true.
So
okay.
I'm just saying.
But anyway, like, so that it's like a documentary about those 3, and then, like, at the end of it, it's like they're sitting together and they're talking to each other. And the Edge asked Jimmy Page how he came up with the lick for Kashmir. And like to hear Jimmy Page kind of like, yeah, I was fucking around. I'm just like, Jimmy Page was just fucking around. He came up with the hook for Cashmere.
Yeah,
like,
one of the greatest line of guitar.
Yeah.
It would probably take me a lifetime or the rest of my life studying music to even become comprehend it, let alone create it.
Yeah. And then like it's like he pulls out a guitar and he's like talking about it sounds kind of like a sitar, so it's tuned that way a little bit, and you know, and then I just kind of like I was like tinkering with it, and John Bonham was with me, and he started with the beat.
John Bonham just happened to be with me.
Yeah,
and then the beat Jimmy Page.
We were recording at the time, and we were at the house, and you know, and John was just happened to be there with me, and he starts with the beat, and you know, I'm just like,
you got the whole setup there too, drums and everything.
And then, but Jack White and the Edge are both like he starts playing it, and they're just kind of like trying to keep up and play it with them, and it's just
in their style.
Yeah.
The best thing about that documentary was the beginning.
Oh.
Jack White created a guitar out of an empty pop bottle and a piece of wood. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't exactly lead you there. It opens up with him doing this, and he's talking about something. I don't know. I can't, because it was a while ago, so I can't remember. But when he ended up with that guitar in his hand, I'm like, how the hell did he do that? Rewind that. I missed where the guitar came from. Yeah. But it was also interesting because I really, really like The Edge. Yeah. I've always loved hearing him.
Yeah.
And not always like U2 now, but The Edge I always thought was beyond U2. And it was interesting to hear his, thought process for music and whatnot.
No, I agree. Like, it was interesting to hear all three of them.
Yeah.
Because I gained an
appreciation.
appreciation.
It's three different, yeah.
Because I gained an appreciation for Jack White that I didn't have. Like, I wasn't a Jack White fan. I'm still a Jack White fan, but man, I appreciate him as a guitarist.
Right.
Like what he does and how he views the art form. And,
I always enjoyed him. I didn't like that little controversy about him and his sister, wife, whatever it was.
Right.
I can't remember which end it ended up on, but who cares? He made good music.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? Seven Army Nation?
Seven Nation Army. Yeah, it's
Why did I say the backwards? Yeah. I'm dyslexic today. That's not the first time I've done that.
The only reason I don't like that is
this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Penn State uses that, and Baltimore uses that. The Baltimore Ravens as like their
theme song, so to speak. Yeah.
Rap, like what Renegade is to Pittsburgh.
Right, yeah.
That's what. And I'm like, they can go fuck themselves.
I can't believe more people don't use Renegade.
I think at this point it's so embraced as a Pittsburgh thing. Nobody else could use it.
But nobody from there was from Pittsburgh.
No, they're all from Chicago.
Yes, it's like, how did it end up being a Pittsburgh thing? I have my question. Before I get that number out of my head, I need to ask you a question.
Sure.
Okay. So, and let me just, I'm going to ask you, you said it was show 557.
Yes.
Okay. So now I know there was twice that you didn't post a show. That was one when we were moving in here. And I honestly can't remember if it was you or Ian or something happened with illness in the family, death in the family. Something happened, yet you didn't. Is that the only two times that you never posted a show?
No.
There was more.
Yeah.
How many more?
Well, there was the only other time I can think of was in December. I'm sure there's been others. I'm going to say there's probably been 3 or 4 others. But the one that comes to mind right away is in December when Oliver was here. And Ian couldn't record, and I was recording here, and I hadn't saved it yet. And Oliver unplugged everything. And with the computer.
His tail. Yeah.
And it was like between Oliver and Luna, like there was like all this confusion
in the kitchen.
And it just got unplugged.
Yeah.
And because my laptop battery does not work.
Right.
And it didn't save, it was lost. And at that point, it was like 11:30 at night. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm done.
Okay, well, we still have to count those as weeks.
Right.
So you say, I can't go by how many shows. So how many years have you been doing this? Because you say how many shows, how many years is this
It'll
now?
be 11 in June.
Dear Lord. I was like, is this in the double digits yet or not? Like, I was debating in my head all the way home, is this in the double digits or not?
Yeah. It'll be 11.
Wow.
And I've got to figure out that week, because the week of our 11-year anniversary is your nephew Dorian's wedding.
Oh, geez, Lord. It's going to be a busy weekend for you.
So I might not be recording a show that week.
That sucks. Because you got to do it, Ian, on the 11th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think last year, the 10th, he wasn't here, or something happened, and I had to record it with you.
Oh.
I can't remember.
Mm.
My mind,
Yeah, I was just curious how many years.
Yeah, it'll be 11.
Because I knew the two that you didn't do. I honestly couldn't remember why, if you did others. Or, like that, when you lost, I knew that happened, but I didn't know you never posted it.
Yeah.
I thought you recovered it.
No, couldn't recover it.
So
Yeah.
that goes to you needing a new laptop.
Yeah, which I have ordered.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did order it.
Okay. Good.
So we'll see how long it takes me to figure it out.
And how long the battery in that one actually lasts. Because even if you get new batteries like my old laptop, it still doesn't... It's not the same. It's just not the same.
I mean, if you tell me the laptop gets an 8-hour battery life, that's more than enough for what I need. I can plug it in and recharge it every week. But you've got to give me 4 hours of battery life. I'd be happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's a matter of, at this point, brand new. And this computer is only 2 or 3 years old. I'm buying.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the advantages to it. Because the other ones I was looking, it's refurbished, but the other ones I was looking at were 7 and 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I'm replacing a 10-year-old computer with a refurbished 7 or 8-year-old computer.
Yeah, no.
What?
Nah, yeah, that makes no sense.
Right. So I went with this.
Yeah, 2-year-old is way better than 8-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. So
to speak.
So to speak.
So to speak.
So I finally signed myself up for Amazon Prime.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm leeching off that.
Okay.
Because I canceled mine.
Right, I know.
I hadn't been ordering anything. What the hell was I had it for a whole year and ordered maybe 3 times for Christmas.
Well, to me,
it was a waste.
The free shipping is a bonus.
Yes.
Because I want to watch the stuff on Amazon.
That's what I'm saying. I want that back because I was in the middle of some shit
right.
when I canceled it. And I was like, God damn.
I'm finally now, and I'll be binging for a while. I've just started watching the 4th season of Jack Ryan.
Hi, Beanie.
Beanie's come to announce herself.
Beanie, I haven't seen you since I've been home. Hello.
She was in the window.
That window?
Yeah.
How does she stay up there?
There's enough for her chunky butt.
Push that over and let her sit on
it. Anyway. So I'm just a couple episodes into Reacher. Not Reacher, Jack Ryan.
Is that any good?
It's very good.
I've heard good shit about it, but...
I've enjoyed the hell out of it, but I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I like John Krasinski.
Oh, yeah, me too. Obviously, I was an Office fan.
But, it's that thing of, and you'll probably have that problem at first, he's not Jim.
No, he's not. Well, I had that hard time when... In that movie,
yeah, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
Well, you had the part with Bryan Cranston in Breaking Bad.
Well, once he shaved his head, he was absolutely white. What the hell was his?
Walter White.
Thank you, Walter. God, I was thinking something else, but no, But I did watch that movie with him in it, and I'm like, okay, he's no longer Jim.
Oh, A Quiet Place.
And I also, with my friend Jeff, we sat down and we were watching. You know, he does videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching them a couple times, and he's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
I kind of like him. Yeah, and I adore his wife.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah, she's awesome. I like her a lot.
But yeah, so that's
Them movies they made together. Have you watched them yet?
The Quiet Place?
Yes, both of them.
I watched both of them. Yeah,
Oh my God, are they amazing?
they're very good.
Second one is like rip your heart out. Yeah. What are you doing?
She's loving on me.
Sabina's on the table, like she's not allowed, but apparently, gotta give her some lovin's.
But I also watched last night. I watched a movie.
Oh!
She knocked down
Knocking
Sherlock,
stuff.
and now she's laying on my bag.
She is. She went right to your stuff. Because she's gonna say, technically, I'm not on the table.
Yeah, that's her workaround.
Yeah.
But I did watch a movie
Excuse
last night that kind of bummed me out.
Oh. Wait, bummed you out because it was terrible, or bummed you out because it was just like a drama and it was tearjerker bumming you out? Made you sad.
It wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
She's eating this plant.
Sabine Wren.
That's Brittany's plant. Get out of there. Brittany gonna be mad at you.
Little chunky butt. Anyway, the movie was called The Bricklayer. And it had
I'm sorry, that's a different term for me. Back in the 80s.
Yeah. It had
Oh, a breeze.
it had Aaron Eckhart in it.
Oh, I'm sold.
Yeah. Normally I would be too. And I that's one of the reasons why I watched. And the other reason was I looked and I saw it was directed by Rennie Harlan.
Refresh my memory.
Now, yeah, because you're asking yourself, who the hell is Rennie Harlan? Rennie Harlan was, at one point, married to Gina Davis.
Lucky man.
I know. You're telling me.
I'm jealous.
But he's also...
Hey, it's Gina Davis.
Yeah. He was also the director for Die Hard 2.
Oh.
The Adventures of Ford Fairlane.
Oh, I remember that. The pink Cadillac.
Yeah.
Or was it a blue?
I think it was pink.
Was it pink?
Maybe it was...
Because there was a movie, Pink Cadillac, with Clint Eastwood.
He drove a blue Ford Fairlane.
Blue, and then the pink Cadillac was Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Cliffhanger.
Oh. Love a good cliffhanger.
Yeah.
No, I don't like cliffhanger. Isn't that... wait, no. Rambo. What's it?
Sylvester
Stallone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The thing around his neck vision came in my head.
Yeah, the Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester
mountain
Stallone
climbing
cliffhanger.
movie.
Okay, yeah, just terrible.
Cutthroat Island.
Was it that with Gina Davis?
Yes, it was.
I actually liked that one because of her.
Right.
But no, she also had the guy that was in Jack...
Matthew Modine.
Yeah, what was the name of that movie? Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome movie.
Right. But then, most important, he also directed Deep Blue Sea.
I like that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Is it Ice Cube or...
No, that's LL Cool J.
Well, LL Cool J that does all the good one. I
Yeah.
liked him in that. And he survived.
And he survived,
He
yes.
does.
Samuel L. Jackson gets eaten by the giant shark.
But doesn't matter. LL Cool J, he
survives.
survived. I was so
Yes.
happy to see he lived through that movie.
But most importantly, one of the greatest action movies, in my opinion, of all time. Rennie Harlan directed.
Okay. Oh, wait. Is this an older movie?
Yes, it's 1996.
Oh, 96.
Yes.
I was thinking 80s. Why would I not know this? God, see, now you're putting me under pressure.
Because you probably don't even consider it a great action movie.
I think a lot of movies are good action movies, but go ahead. Which one is yours?
The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh, yeah, that's a
With
really
Gina
good
Davis.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh.
Wait, who else is in that?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
wait a second. Is that the same movie?
Because basically that is nothing more, like if looking back on it, that is nothing more than the female version of the Bourne Identity.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. You're onto something there.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of sad. Because you know me and the Bourne Identity.
I know.
Like, those are my jam. Especially the Matt Damon ones.
Yeah. Well, you shat on the Matt Damon ones for a very long time.
Only because
Your
one
love.
we saw in the theater was just, it disappointed me so bad.
But before that, you shat on them because you
Not
had
the third one.
You were all about the original miniseries.
That wasn't a miniseries. That was an HBO movie, TNT. It was a movie. It was a TV movie.
Yeah, but it was like 3.5 hours long. So
Was it that long?
Yeah, it was. It's
Are we
long.
talking about the same?
Yeah.
Really? I still think it was great.
It is great.
But the only reason was that's the one I saw with my father.
Right. It was made in the 80s.
Yeah. It was on TV. It wasn't in the theaters.
Right. But you, for a long time, you were like, I'll never watch those movies.
I did.
You were for a very long time. And then, like, you sat down and you watched them and you went, holy shit, that's really fucking good.
Yeah, I watched the first one. I was like, I'm hooked. I think I was like maybe 5 minutes into that. I'm like,
because I told you, I'm like, just watch the first one with me.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, I understand.
Yeah.
But just watch it before you pass judgment.
Yeah.
And you sat there like with your arm.
I did. Yeah, I did. I'm like, I ain't gonna like this.
You gave me a hoof.
Yeah.
Phooey.
I did. I was spitting on the TV. No, I'm just kidding.
5 minutes in, you're like, holy fuck, this is
like,
good.
Wow. But I liked Matt Damon, so it wasn't nothing against that. It was just, but still, that last one we saw in the theater was just like they didn't even need to make that. Like they either do it different or just erase that from our memories, please. But that was one of the things. Like even the first, the second, third one of those, man, so good.
But anyway, so getting back to Rennie Harlin, who directed all these movies I absolutely love, I thought, okay, this is gonna be great. I mean, Rennie Harlin. I love Rennie Harlin.
Oh, the Aaron Eckhart movie.
Yeah,
okay.
the Aaron Eckhart movie.
I'm sorry, I had to think for a second.
Yeah.
Bricklayer. Thank you. So, what is the movie about? For those of us that never have heard about it.
Essentially, there's a guy who's killing reporters who are anti-America, interfering in European affairs. And he's making it look like the CIA is the one doing the killings.
Oh.
Well, it turns out it's this guy, and he used to work with Aaron Eckhart. And Aaron Eckhart has since left the CIA, and he's now a bricklayer.
An actual bricklayer?
Yes.
Ah.
Hence the title.
Wow.
So, of course, the CIA pulls him in.
I didn't even know that was still a valid job.
Yeah, people build things.
I know, but they're usually, like, differently than just laying bricks at a time.
Yeah, well, there are some places where they still do that trade.
All right.
Anyway, so the CIA pulls him back in to, hunt this guy down and,
Okay.
It was...
This doesn't sound like your typical movie that Sean Coon would be watching.
Well, yeah, because it's...
No. Because I've recommended a few movies like that one Kit Harington was in. That was like all by like with the government and shit. And you're like, no. And I'm like, but it was actually not bad. It wasn't it wasn't terrible or great, but it wasn't bad.
I like spy movies.
Yeah, it had something to do with that.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. Anyway, I watch spy stuff all the time.
Speaking of Kit Harington, they canceled Jon Snow.
I did hear that. Yeah.
I'm so sad about that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But so, anyway, the thing, like, first off, the movie was blah. Like, it wasn't that good.
Okay.
And then they broke my heart.
Oh.
Because at one point, like, they're showing up in Greece, and he's like, and they're driving on the highway, and they're in this, like, little VW Rabbit. And he's like, I need you to pull off here. And she's like, but the GPS says to keep going. No, I need a gentleman's break.
Okay.
And they end up pulling...
Gentleman's break.
Yeah, I mean, they ended up pulling into this, like this
is there a such thing anymore?
Yeah, well, this is how dumb the girl is. Like, she's pulling, like, driving and, like, pulling into, like, this, like, abandoned, like, train yard. Like,
that's safe.
I'd be like, where the fuck are you taking a piss at here?
Yeah.
But no.
On abandoned train yard.
Yeah. But, they pull in and ends up, this is his contact because, he's working outside of the CIA.
Gotcha.
And, they're setting him up with all this equipment and stuff. And they're like, yeah, we're not taking that car. This is our car.
Oh.
And it was a Mercedes-Benz AMG
Oh, God.
CL63.
Is this one of yours?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're going to have to show it to me when we go upstairs.
Yeah, it was beautiful until I saw it in the light. Because at first I thought, is it black? It looks kind of black. No, it was a flat green.
Ooh.
Like matte.
Ooh.
Yeah, so like there was no shine
like
to it.
Army green or like this green?
Like an army green. Like it was like a darker green, and then on top of it, it was matte, so it didn't have any shine to it whatsoever.
On a Mercedes Benz, who would do that?
I was like, why would you do this beautiful car?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sad.
That's so awful.
Yeah.
Jesus. That does not pop at all.
No, it didn't.
No.
It sounded good, but it looked like shit.
I was up in Latrobe Plaza for some reason today. We were turning around, and as we're coming out, there's a car coming in, and I swear to God, it was like one of those. Is it iridescent? Where it's like purple, blue, pink.
Oh yeah.
That was the freaking car. I was like, they got them on cars now? That was beautiful. And it was a nice car.
It's a wrap.
I don't know what it was, but it was beautiful.
Yeah, like what they do is they'll like wrap like a I don't know what the material is, but it's like you ply it and you like use like a hair dryer.
Oh, like the things you put in your window in the winter?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, only like more durable.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that to my car, but it was really pretty. The way I saw it in the sunlight, it was actually really pretty because it was like all those different colors. I was like, whoa.
It's like the same way like they can make a bus look like a traveling Gitco.
Right,
you know, like,
right.
It's a wrap.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
Or like Monster pays you to...
Yeah.
Who would do that? Wait, how much do they pay?
I don't know.
They would have to pay me like $5,000 a month to do that to my car.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Speaking of your car, I figured out what you should name it.
I have yet to name that car.
Yeah.
What?
The Lady.
The Lady?
Yeah.
Why?
Who else had a vehicle named The Lady?
I don't know.
Stringfellow Hawk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is black and all that.
Yeah.
She got them nice leather seats.
Get yourself a nice Airwolf decal.
Oh, my God, that would be so bomb. Well, I don't have to raise money. I'm a little poor, so I'll have to start a GoFundMe account.
Yeah.
I need an Airwolf logo on my car.
Yeah.
Please, she needs a name. I like that idea.
Yeah.
There is nothing. I can't put a license plate on the front of my car. Did you see that?
Dee told me that. Yeah.
I said, Jesus Lord. What's with Jeep?
Because I saw a really nice one I was going to buy, except it was like $50.
I want to get one on the license plate in the back. I want to get something on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one I saw was like, it was black with like a lighter black. It said Jeep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could like see it, but it was like,
yeah.
You know.
There's a couple of things I want to do to that car. That's one thing. But I have to find something that's just going to be like, okay, I see shit I like, but I'm like, I can't see that being like my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I love Nightmare Before Christmas just like everybody else on this earth. I don't want my license plate that. You know what I mean? As much as I love buying the characters and shit, I need to find something that's me. And I also want to put those puddle lights in.
Yeah.
Because I saw when I had that loaner that had those, I'm like, I need these in my life. I got to have, because they have ones with the Jeep logo. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need this in my car. And they're only like 20-something bucks. I just need to have somebody install them.
I also laughed. I was watching a video today.
Oh, in my front and rear cam, sorry.
Yeah. And I was watching this video today, and it was somebody bought a 2019 Dodge Charger, and they were showing the interior and they were showing the infotainment system, and it's the exact as yours.
Really?
Yeah, because
the infotainment system.
Yeah, like that middle screen of yours, exact same thing.
Really?
Because it's Dodge,
Dodge truck.
Dodge and Jeep,
Yeah.
are owned by the same
So
company. So
yeah.
so it made sense that they would like.
Right.
But still, it was funny to me. I was like, oh, I've seen that before. I know how that works.
I love that, but the problem with that is like we find out today. Like, I would just bring up maps because that was the emblem that was on the screen when I would, connect my phone to it. But like, it wasn't working right. So we're like, is there no other like? Because they asked if we wanted a GPS system installed in that, and I said no. I was like, my phone has GPS. I don't need it in the car, junking it up, And because my theory is the more you got in this thing, the more horrible it's going to run. Just like if you junk up your computer. That was my theory. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't care. It's in my head. So I told him, no, I don't want it. So I was looking on there. I actually was able to see Google Maps. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, the more you go into that, every time I'm in that car, I find something different on that damn screen that I didn't know I had the day before.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah, so you don't need to install that shit. You can just see it right on the screen through your phone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how that works. Yeah, them things know exactly where you are, too. That's scary to me. They're like right down to the freaking address on the street you're at. You're like, damn, how do you know this shit?
Yeah, I hate when I look up, bring up the maps, and it'll show like your car is parked in the back.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me know. Nobody stole it today.
Yeah.
Still back here.
Speaking of cars, I saw the fun. Like, this just cracked me up yesterday. So I was going to Target.
Oh, jeez.
And I get to the light at Target.
Monroeville. The one with Giant Eagle.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm there.
So I'm in the.
You're coming up the hill, not down.
I'm coming up the hill, and I'm in the turning lane. And the light for the turning lane was already red, or like there it's like you can turn on green. But the lights were turning red, so I stopped. I'm just sitting there. There's a cop right in front of me.
Oh shit!
Well,
I ain't running that red light.
No, but he's sitting across from me, and the light turns red, and it's red for a good 2-3 seconds, and this truck just blows right through.
Whoa!
And the cop sat there for a second, looked at me, and went like gestured his hand out like, really? And I just kind of looked at him back, and I went, I don't know.
What did this say?
The lights go on, and he goes and he pulls him over. And
He pulled him over?
Yeah.
He gestured to you.
Like, he looked right at me
funny.
because I'm sitting there, and he's just like,
That's hysterical.
I don't know, man.
That was the one time. The one time I was pulled over, the cop said, "You speed a lot," and I said, "I don't know. I've never been pulled over before." He was like, huh?
Yeah.
Like the look he gave me. I'm like, "You guys never caught me before. I don't know if I speed." The stupid shit we cops.
Yeah.
I must have passed like freaking 10 of them on the way home.
Yeah.
They are out tonight. There is something happening. They are out.
I don't know.
There was 3 of them just from Lincoln Way to here.
I don't know if maybe it has to do with like all the flooding.
It might be, but they're
like
everywhere.
More wicked storms coming through because like it flooded, then it went down, and we got more heavy rain, and it flooded back up again.
Right. Yeah, that poor point has been underwater for a week.
Yeah.
In Greensburg, where I was at, you can just see the storms, the lightning. The lightning is just, it's like lightning storms. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because, sitting high up on the porch where I was at, it was like just straight across. I was sitting there watching it for a bit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I like a good lightning thunderstorm. A little sad that there was no thunder rain, but you got the lightning.
I like looking at those pictures, like when we had the flooding last week. It reminded me of when we went to the Pitt, Nebraska game.
When you and I did?
Yeah, you and I did.
Is that the corn cob guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had flooded. It flooded that night. And normally when I go to a sporting event of any type, at least with the Pirates or the Penguins or The Steelers. The Pirates are the Steelers or Pitt. Football. I will park over at Station Square and we'll take the boat over.
Right.
I just think it's more efficient at this. Like
wow,
at this
I
point,
miss doing that.
Yeah, like especially now that like they've, because it used to be like there was parking everywhere on the North Shore.
Yes.
Well, now there's no parking on the North. Like
none.
Zilch. There's a couple of parking lots, but I mean like what used to be like pretty simple to park is now almost impossible.
Right. Yes.
There's very little parking on the North Shore.
You're not wrong.
For the stadiums, but back then there was. But I felt like I'd much rather just park over here. The traffic's easier to deal with.
Right.
And I get a boat ride.
Yeah, and then you sit and relax. You get a boat ride. As long as there's no gators climbing on that boat.
Yeah, really. But that game we couldn't park there because it was flooded.
Right.
And
I remember.
So we ended up parking in like the garage for like I think it was West Penn Electric or something. Like I think it was a gas company. Like either like we ended up having to park there and like walk.
Yes.
And I was like, this is horrible. I never wanted to, because like.
Yeah. Do you remember the time that we were going to the Pirate game, and I was in the car with my sister? You were in the car with the boys in your car, I think, behind us, and we were sitting at a light, and a guy came up and gave Christine a parking pass. For a free parking pass, and she looked out and got free parking, and you had to pay. Yeah. You were all pissed off.
Son of a bitch.
Because Christine was like, oh, because the car behind me with me, and he's like, I only got one, lady, and he walked away. I felt so bad, but I think we gave you half for that or something. I get whatever we were, yeah. I don't remember. But it sucked because, yeah. And then we had that one where we did tailgating. I don't think I ever tailgated before. That was the first time I ever tailgated when John was with us, remember?
Was that the one?
Where you did both a baseball and a football game in the same day. Yeah. I don't remember who you went to the football game with.
I went one time with John.
Was that day?
And I did a double dip.
Yeah, because they did tailgating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so trashed that day. It was like a whole day of drinking. In the sun. I don't recommend that.
Those usually happen like you'd get like an August or a September day. Like the first game of the season usually did that for Pitt because they had the Rib Fest.
Right. I'm sorry. Every time you say Rib Fest, I think of what's his name. I'm sorry. Yeah. Funny. That story is hysterical.
But so yeah, there'd be the Rib Fest, and
I've never made it to a Rib Fest.
Have you?
No, I've been to a lot of shit, but I've never went to a Rib Fest. It just doesn't interest me. I'm not I'm not a rib eater. Yeah. It's like it's like those pickle things. Great, pickles are great, but I don't want to drink the juice.
Yeah, no,
I'm not a juice drinker.
I'm not going to Picklesburg either.
I ain't doing that. Yeah.
Well, your boss Teresa's like, hey, I know the mayor of Picklesburg.
He comes in all the time. He orders the pickle pizza all the time. Yeah, and the Big Mac pizza.
And I'm just like, yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I talk about with this guy.
Yeah,
like,
don't get me started on these pool players.
Yeah, I was like when she pitched, like when we were pitching it, she's like, hey, I know the mayor of Picklesburg. Yeah. I'm like,
I tell you, if that's the person she threw at you, she knows she's on the sly because she knows a lot of people. Yeah, she's connected.
I was just like, wow, what am I going to talk to this guy about? So you like pickles?
I know, but they got a lot of interesting jobs. I've found out, just like here and there, being around them and walking through the bar and shit. You hear people talking. Yeah, there's some interesting folks that comes into her bar.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I like working there. Good peeps.
Good peeps.
Good peeps. Good peeps. Yeah. There was something else I wanted to ask you, and I forgot. This is why I need Post-it notes. Yes. Oh, yeah. You went to see... we both saw Godzilla versus
Yeah.
Kong, but we did not see it together, which I was very sad about that. But I was glad you saw it in the theater. I saw it in the drive-in.
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you talk about that last week?
You and I talked about it last week, yes.
You haven't seen the other one, though.
No, I didn't. I was
Was
going
that
to get...
last week? Oh, my God.
That
He's been on. Ian's been gone for 2 weeks?
Yes. Ian...
I didn't remember that being last week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My
And
days are going fast.
he's on vacation.
He's on vacation. Good for him.
Good for
He
him.
deserves it.
Yes.
Ian works hard.
And it's his birthday, so happy birthday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Ian. I remember seeing that somewhere. Or
Yeah.
maybe you told me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh? Happy birthday, Ian.
Indeed.
Happy birthday to you.
So...
You don't live in a shoe. Wait. Oh, no, that's a Christmas song. Never mind. I was like the Batman Smells one. That's Christmas. Never
No,
mind.
that's Christmas, yeah. I know what
There's
it is.
another birthday song. Oh, wait. They say it's your birthday. The whole
Yeah.
Anthony Michael Hall scene. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Comic-Con with all the Breakfast Club people there.
Yeah.
You know how friggin' mad I was when I saw that and was like, what? I didn't know that was this weekend.
Yeah, it was this weekend. And also today, Sting and Darby Allin were there.
I know.
Yeah.
I could have got my coffin signed.
Yeah.
Well, I was up in Altoona antiquing. Okay?
Oh.
Sue me. I was out buying Tupperware.
Also, the father of the year, the patriarch, Christian was there.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I wonder if he's nice or cocky to people.
I would certainly hope.
I want him to be nice.
I want him to be a dick.
Really? I want him to be nice.
Like, I want him to keep kayfabe. And, like,
You don't have to be a dick to me. I'm not in the business.
Like, I would want him to keep kayfabe, and I would have told him, like, you know, Nancy's father has died. You know. Because I would have, if we were there together, I would have had to speak for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you would have been tongue-tied.
But this would have
again.
been my second opportunity to see Anthony Michael Hall, to meet him.
Yeah.
I honestly believe if I would get a chance to get something else signed by, I would absolutely get my coffin signed by Darby, the coffin you bought me.
Yeah.
I would absolutely. He would probably be like, this is cool, because everybody's bringing the other thing you got me,
Yeah.
the coffin would have been a cool thing for him to sign. But I think I still would have been like, here, Sean, you get it. I don't. It's just, there's something about famous people that are just like, I can't speak. Like, there's not even sound. There's no sound. It's just a mouth open.
Yeah. I get that. Very weirdly, I got that way with Mick Foley.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can see him too. I'd probably be anybody famous.
But like, it wasn't like it was just like, I don't know, like I was like, thank you very much. I've been a big fan of yours ever since your world-class championship days in Texas. He's like, wow, you're old.
Not as old as me.
Not as old as me, but you're old. And
wow, how many characters has Mick Foley had in wrestling? Man, he is like so old school, man. It's like so
he's
respected.
But he's only really had. He was Cactus Jack for a very, very long time.
Right.
Like going all the way back to like I said, like world class championship wrestling and the Indies and stuff. Like he was Cactus Jack, and then when he went to the WWE, he was Mankind, Dude Love.
I hated Dude Love.
And Cactus Jack.
Wait, no, there was a sock dude.
Well, the Mr. Socko was part of Mankind's gimmick.
Mankind's gimmick. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Because that was...
You're right. Okay, I'm with you. Gotcha.
That was part of the greatest skit ever.
I had to put the outfits, costumes. I don't know what the hell you want to call them. I'm sorry, Lisa came to in the head when she called the football first costumes. That's so adorable. Anyways, I couldn't think of that. I don't like when they switch characters. Unless it's better.
I always hate like, I understand why you do it in the WWE a bit, because WWE wants to have the rights to the character.
Right.
So, like, if you move to WWE, they're going to repackage you so that they own everything.
Right.
Which is why, like, when you see guys leave WWE, they change because they're changing back to what they were doing in the indies or whatever.
Right.
Like, Cody Rhodes is the exception, because like when he came in, he's like, I've got to be Cody Rhodes. I've got to have my music. I've got to be the American Nightmare. Look, this is everything I this is how I've established myself.
He had a plan, though.
He did.
Yeah.
He honestly did.
Yeah, he was smart. He had a plan.
But he also, like, he made himself, like, when he left WWE, he was a joke.
Oh.
He was not Stardust. Yeah, Stardust. He was like, he wore like this goofy face paint.
Whoa, he was Stardust?
Yeah.
No fucking.
Not Stardust.
I was gonna say I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, Stardust, because his brother was Goldust. Dustin
Never
Rhodes.
mind. I was thinking of Gold. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind. You're right. Yes.
Goldust was his brother, Dustin.
I was thinking Goldust.
Yeah.
Because I was like, no, he was big. Yeah. No. Yeah.
And he had this goofy gimmick, and like he did, it was like goofiness.
Yeah.
And he was a joke, and that's why he left. Like, he was like pissed. He's like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're not taking me seriously.
Right.
Like, you're offering me guaranteed money, but it's to be what?
Yeah.
And that's why he left.
Right.
And he went to New Japan. He went to Ring of Honor. He went to Impact. Like, he did all these things. Mm-hmm. Then the bet comes up, where he says, I give me the Bucks and Kenny Omega, and I can fill a 10,000 seat.
Really?
Yeah. Because somebody asked Dave Meltzer on Twitter. They said,
who's Dave Meltzer?
Dave Meltzer is the quote-unquote leading journalist, quote-unquote,
For
wrestling. He's not, but, like, he's been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
Like, he's just highly respected.
Right, like the commentaries and stuff like that, they're,
Right.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, if Dave Meltzer gives you 5 stars for a match, that means something.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Well.
Which, yeah.
Yeah, so somebody asked Dave Meltzer, do you think an independent promotion could fill a 10,000 seat arena today? And this was at a time, this was 2019. So, like, WWE was it. Like, TNA had come and fizzled, and, like, they were Impact now, and they were floundering. Ring of Honor was what it was, but it was never going to be a challenger to WWE. Like, it was always going to be a propped up indie. Mm-hmm. And Dave Meltzer was like, with the way things are today, no, it couldn't happen.
Right.
And Cody Rhodes tweeted, you give me Kenny Omega and the Bucks, and I'll take that bet. And that was the genesis for All In, the very first All In.
Well, when did Tony Khan jump on board?
After All In.
Gotcha.
So they put on the show All In
because Kenny Omega was in Ring of Honor, New Japan, and so was the Young Bucks.
Right. And so was Cody.
So they were in it when Cody was in. Gotcha.
Like, so all of those guys.
Yeah, that's the all-star cast right there.
Right.
It is.
Right. They were in Bullet Club, and they were the Elite.
Right.
And
the Elite.
Yeah. So.
I love the Elite.
Like, that was like, so they put on that show, they fill a 10,000 seat arena in minutes.
Right.
Like, tickets sold out like that.
Yeah.
And, it was a pay-per-view. It was hot, it
was a pay-per-view.
It was a pay-per-view.
On top of that.
On top of that, yeah. It did.
How did he pull that off?
It was
if he didn't have Khan's money.
Because he worked with the people. Like, this is where it gets confusing. Like, and why, like, for the longest time you couldn't get the All-In pay-per-view on DVD or anything, because they did it under the Ring of Honor banner. Like, Ring of Honor gave them the facilities to be able to put it on pay-per-view.
Right.
So technically Ring of Honor owned All In.
Right.
And then when they sold to Tony Khan, now you can buy it on. Because
now yeah.
he owns everything.
Right.
So yeah, they put in the All In show. It's a massive success.
Yeah. So Cody Rhodes got his middle finger up to the guys that made the bet with him. Right.
But also, like, he's a figurehead. Like, 4 months later, they announce, here comes AEW.
Right.
We're going to do our first pay-per-view. Like, they didn't have TV at the time. It was like,
right.
here's our first pay-per-view.
Right.
It's going to be in May. It's called Double or Nothing. Wow. It's in Las Vegas. It was like...
Las Vegas of all places.
Yeah. So, he goes through all of that. AEW becomes something he doesn't think it's supposed to be. And he leaves.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest risk. Like, to me, like, leaving WWE is not a big risk. Because you can go to the independents and you can crisscross the country. You can go to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. You can do all... Like, there are big enough independents around the country that you could do good money in.
Well, if you have the desire to do that.
Right. But that's the thing. Like, there are people like Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona, he's the king of the independents. He'll show up at any fucking independent show. Like, he crisscrosses the country every weekend. Like, Friday through Sunday. He is... Wow. He's in L.A., he's in Chicago, he's in Texas. Like, he's all over the place.
He's spending too much money on flights.
But he's making the money. That's the thing.
Like, yeah, he's putting it back into his flights.
But anyway.
Flying ain't cheap.
No. But, so you could have made your living doing that. But the fact that, like, he left AEW for WWE, like he could convince WWE that he was big enough. He was big enough that he could, be signed and be a top guy. Is impressive.
Is there fucking Limburg cheese?
All right, so it's impressive what he's done. Basically,
there are some people that have come together for groups like that on wrestling that I didn't care for, and I'm gonna say one, and you're gonna be like,
okay.
I was not a big fan of the NWO.
Okay.
I just didn't like that whole. Oh my god, the name was on the tip of my tongue and I lost it. The guy with the black.
Scott Hall?
No, not none of the wrestlers. He wasn't a wrestler.
Oh, Eric Bischoff.
I could not stand that man for some reason. He'd get that microphone and I'd be like, put my fingers in my ears. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Right.
Just did not. And of course, I wasn't a Hulk Hogan fan. But like the NWO for some reason just rubbed me the wrong way. Which I'm sure that's what it was meant to do, but it wasn't because of that. It was just I didn't like that whole entire storyline.
The thing that annoyed me is like it reached a point where it was like everybody was in the NWO.
Yes! It came to who isn't?
Yeah.
And you're wrestling each other. There's nobody to argue with because everybody's in it.
Right.
Yeah.
They had to split the group for a while, so you had the NWO Black and White and the NWO Wolfpack.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, yeah, the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had what's his face go on to make Magic Mike, so there's that.
Kevin Nash.
I can't say it. I think he's actually really good at it. I do. I like watching him trying to do the moves. He's so great. Yeah. What was it? Is it Hall that passed away recently? Or?
Scott Hall, yeah.
Yeah. What did he pass away from? How old was he?
He was in his 60s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I always liked that toothpick or whatever the fuck he had hanging. Yeah. He was like one person I actually did like in the NWO, but like I just didn't like that whole. It was the whole WWE thing over again. Well, before then, whatever. Going out and talking for 20 fucking hours and you don't see no wrestling for 4. You're like, come on.
Well, the real problem with that was, and I've heard many people, including Eric Bischoff, say this. Everything else he didn't give a damn about. Like, he had very little Chris Jericho would talk about, I could do whatever I wanted. They gave me an allotted amount of time, and I could do whatever the fuck I wanted with that allotted amount of time. And I made every second count.
Right.
Because he's like, TV time is precious, but it's like, they weren't giving me scripts. They weren't giving me, like, creative. They were just like, what are you going to do? Well, you got me wrestling Dean Malenka, so I'm going to go out there with, like, a wad of paper, and I'm just going to read off wrestling moves.
See, that's your Chris Jericho is so great.
He's like, Dean Malenka is the man of 1,000 moves, well, I'm the man of 1,001.
Fucking Chris Jericho cracks me up, man.
Like, he's like,
love him.
and he read, like, honestly, he sat there, he had, like, it was like the old printer paper that,
right,
like, unspooled.
yeah.
And he sat there, and they went to a commercial break, and he kept reading them during the commercial break, and he's like, every other one was an arm bar. Like, but that was stuff that, like, he was just making up, because they were just like, yeah, what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah, what are you going to do? Yeah. But see, somebody like Chris Jericho can come up with that shit. Just like, I think you told me about it. I would love for you to bring these up for me to see them. When Britt Baker was in a wheelchair and she was like doing this, I would love to see that because I freaking adore her. But like that's kind of like Chris Jericho. He's like in the moment and he can come up with something. He's that good. But
that was, it worked for her so much because one, it was still the pandemic.
Right.
So like there was no audience.
Right.
And she could like, it was still keeping her on TV, so you were fresh on her mind. Mm-hmm. And she could do what she was learning to do best, and that was talk.
Right.
So, like, doing the whole thing, like where she had, like, the thing stuff so she could, like, send messages to Tony Schiavone.
I got to see that happening.
Was hysterical.
Yeah,
and, like,
I haven't seen her lately. Like, where's Britt Baker? I miss her.
Apparently she's injured, from what I've heard.
Her and Cody. Or...
Adam
Cole.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cody.
But I mean, like
you were talking about Cody. I had him on the brain.
Right, but also like people were, and it's sad, but people were like, you have to get her off of TV because that's all that they had. Like other female wrestlers weren't getting a chance to shine. Even the champ wasn't getting a chance to shine.
Was it Jade?
No,
at the time because thank God.
But like it was like. It's like it's Britt Baker and everybody else. And you've got to get her off of TV so these other people, because she takes up the space. You know?
Yeah,
like,
she was so good at it.
Right.
When did she join forces with Hayter? Because she's injured too.
Yeah.
See, this is the problem with getting attached to wrestlers. They're my two favorite female wrestlers. Anybody else I don't care about. Her I really like. Except Thunder Rosa. I do like her. They're not there, so I never get to see them.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Hardy. Where the hell's he been? Injured?
Yeah.
Or rehab? Who knows what that? Poor guy.
But her and Jamie Hayter, when Britt was champ, the very first episode of Rampage was in Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yeah, and she defended the title on Rampage against Red Velvet.
Okay. And
she beats Red Velvet, and I can't remember she started beating up Red Velvet. Somebody came out, I can't remember who, and then Jamie Hayter came on, and that was the re-debut of Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, I like Jamie Hayter. She's good in the ring. She's a presence. She kind of reminds me, and I'm not saying like physicality or anything, just the way she is in the ring. She kind of reminds me of China, like all business. I'm going to kick your ass, and I'm going to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the way China was. She's like,
right.
I'm coming to kick your ass, male or female, because China didn't give a shit, and then I'm going home.
Yeah.
That's what Jamie Hayter, you know? Yeah, I haven't really been watching lately. You'd have to catch me up. But I would love to see like sometime bring them up and say, hey, these are those.
I'll see if I can
just
find
clips of it. I don't need to watch all shows, you know. So yeah, wrestling.
Yep.
I'm behind on a lot of shows. I'm even behind on Survivor.
Wow.
Top Chef. Roseanne.
Are you behind on Top Chef because it's not What's Her Face anymore?
I know I was sad about that.
I can't think of her name. Padma, yeah. Padma.
You know, it's Gail. That's why. Gail.
Really?
You know, I just...
Yeah, I know you don't like Gail. I like Gail.
She's a parrot. She's a Pete and repeat. She has no thoughts for herself.
Right.
She just sits there and repeats everything everybody says.
Right.
I don't know how she became famous. It's the same thing with that moron. What's his name? Fier. How did he become famous? What the fuck is wrong with Food Network anymore? Well, actually, I can't say Food Network because that's Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks not being home. I'm not catching up on all my shows, but I got to catch up on Survivor because I really am enjoying this season, but I'm like 5 episodes behind.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're going to have the finale before I see the mid.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen them... What is that called? Merge. I have not seen the merge yet.
Wow.
I don't even know if it happened.
I ain't been this shocked since Nick Perry pulled 666 on Halloween.
The good thing is like I avoid social media at all costs anymore.
Yeah.
I just not into it anymore. So I'm not even getting spoilers.
Yeah.
Because I don't even look. I think I brought up Facebook today because Christine said, hey, check out the post from the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to see Lily, her granddaughter, dressed up. Oh my gosh, she was so adorable, Sean. Anyways, I'm looking and I'm like, huh, dressed.
Yeah.
That came up as because I hit on my notifications. You're going to hit on your notifications.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
The old boy.
It was a handsome. That is my all-time favorite picture of dressed.
That is, yeah.
He was a very handsome fella.
Yeah, I rolled a little bit of a tear when I saw that.
I'm sorry. But
Nah, don't be.
that will always be. That one and the one where he was
joy.
like. The one where he's on the ground fighting with the cellophane, but like the way I took the picture, you can't see the cellophane, so he looks like he's fighting by himself, but I promise there's cellophane there. But he always looks so white and fluffy in that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was so pristine.
Yeah.
Ah, he was a little bitch. Love that cat. Yeah. But yeah, that come up. Because the one with Ahsoka playing hiding in the covers, that was the one, like, the last time I went on Facebook, and I'm like, this is why I don't go on Facebook.
Yeah.
I hate these memories, man. I hate them. Makes me feel old. Yeah.
The old handsome fella.
Yeah. It's weird. Since we've been in this house, we've both lost a cat, and we both gained a cat, but opposite sex.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Of course, Darby's not here right now. He's visiting.
Yeah.
He's out whoring around. My cat's a whore. He is.
I wouldn't call him. He's a social butterfly.
He's a whore. Okay, let me tell you real quick. When I was where I was at yesterday, somebody came to dinner. Chester came to dinner.
Yeah.
Darby wasn't having none of Chester.
No.
Now, you know the cabinets that next to Michael's fridge that's up high.
Right.
He was up there, like he was crouching ceiling high. Now, Chester would go over to be like, hi, Darby, how you doing? He's trying to make friends. Darby was like, I don't need any more friends. He was having none of it. He struts around that house like he owns it. I'm like, dude, you're coming home. You're coming home next week. I hate to tell you.
He's probably strutting around. He's probably looking at Chester going, do you have a daughter?
No.
I like daughters.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Oh, yeah, he loves Sydney. He loves her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's a whore. When she's home alone, he's her whore.
Yeah.
As soon as Michael comes home, that's his whore. As soon as I walk in that house, them two are not even existing.
You're Mama Nancy. I love my Mama Nancy.
Stop that. But yeah.
Can't help myself, Mama Nancy.
But he does that, like,
yeah,
fake spray shit. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that. I hate that. I also hate that when you're in the bathroom, you just bust right in. Like, dude, I'm going to the bathroom here.
That's all cats, though.
I hate that. God. Well,
Sabine will wake up out of a deep sleep and sit in the hallway and wait for me. Like,
yeah, I've seen her.
Yeah.
I'll come out. If I see Sabine sitting in that hallway, I'm like, well, I ain't getting in the bathroom right now.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
It's like your early warning detection system. There's Sabine. Okay.
Right. No, he's terrible.
But you did see.
He's a very needy cat, though. Yeah. Like, Darby has become, as he's getting older, and he's only going on 2, so he isn't that fucking old. He is a very clingy, needy cat. So no matter who's there, he is, and he will go up the food chain, whoever's better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're the more important one, so I'm going to hoard you today.
But he I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, like, I'm here all the time, so, like, over there, he's left alone for a period of time, and he's just like, what the fuck?
He really isn't. He really isn't. Yeah. There's, like, the schedules in that house are so...
Yeah.
He's maybe in that house maybe an hour by himself. Yeah. Yeah, he's a little whore. But I told him he needs to come home because Sabine misses him. So, yeah. Did you notice the last time I was here, I was saying Darby, and she would look up at me.
Yeah. But you did see the fun trick that Sabine has now.
Knocking all your shit off?
That too, yeah.
She is ruthless, man.
She is. No, when I go to take a shower, she comes in with me.
Yes.
And when I'm done and I'm drying off and I'm leaving the shower, because what she does is she jumps up in the window and she looks out the window at the birds because she wants to kill them. And
which is funny because when Darby's in the window, he coos and wants to be friends.
Right. So when I'm done with my shower and I'm leaving, I'll open the door and I'll look over at her, and she's kind of got her head turned back at me like, let's go, little girl. And she'll jump down and she'll leave the bathroom.
She's trotting on out there. She had her time. She tried getting in there on me the other day.
But she also knows there's a routine to it.
Yeah.
Because she knows, okay, he's got in the shower. Now I need to leave.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get dressed and we're going downstairs. I'm going to get fed.
Yeah.
So she knows there's a routine. To it. So I think that's part of, it wasn't that I trained her to do it. I think it's more along the lines of she's like, oh, okay, we're going to the next step.
Yeah. Okay. It just happens naturally because that's your routine.
Right.
Where Darby, there's no routine because he's splitting his time between 2 houses, and he gets fed twice a day over there with snacks, and you feed him once a day here, and he has no idea what's going on with the snacks.
No, he should know because it's like here, it's like, okay, well, 10 o'clock.
But do you really think the cat is distinguishing between the 2 houses?
I'm sure he's not.
He's just like, why am I not getting fed twice a day, and why are there not snacks in my bowl all day long?
But he also has 3 bowls of Cruncher.
Yeah.
Like,
he loves that shit.
Yeah.
Loves that shit.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. He also likes when you stand and pour water in his bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll be like all
up
in that shit.
With that,
He loves water.
Yeah.
He jumps in the tub.
Yeah.
You got the fucking shower on, he jumps in, and you're like, dude, stop that. He plays in the sink. He's a weirdo, man.
He's a nutty.
What do you...
All right, well, I think we've done a lot of babbling here.
I do babble.
Well,
I babble about shit people don't want to hear.
Well, considering this is an off-the-cuff show.
It is. I was surprised. I'm sorry. I'm surprised it lasted because he was in here last week.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it is one of those things that's like odd.
Plus the timing between the 2 weekends. Yeah.
It's one of those things where, I mean, we've discussed. You and I have discussed this, and I've discussed it on the show. Like when it's going to be a Nancy show, it has to be different. Like the things I wanted to talk about with Ian, you have no interest in.
No.
You know.
I mean, some, but but he doesn't talk wrestling either.
No.
Not that I can get in depth like your father and stuff because your father knows all. I watched wrestling with my dad growing up, but I don't know moves and commentaries back then. I don't know those people back then.
Well, I mean, my dad, I remember back then the WWF came to town every month.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, because it was still regional back then, like in the 70s and the early 80s. It was still regional. It was regional to the Northeast. So back then, they came to the Civic Arena every month, and my dad and his friend Bruce went every month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, that I didn't know.
Yeah. And so then he would come back and tell me all about well, this is how Backlund retained the title. And this is how, Tony Gurria and Martel were able to beat the Moon Dogs.
Right.
He'd regale me with the stories from, which was like cool. But then once Vince took over and it went national, they stopped coming every month.
Okay.
Like they would go for a long time, for a very long time, they would still do Madison Square Garden every month, and they still would do Boston every month, and they had TV deals to broadcast that.
Right.
So like you would watch, if you lived in New York, you could watch the house show from Madison Square Garden.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you lived in Boston, you could watch the house show from Boston. Yeah.
Boston.
So
that's cool.
It was for a very long time they still had that deal. Like now they don't go every month to those places.
Right.
But so it was a very unique thing to those markets.
Yeah.
But I mean my dad's friend Bruce, great guy.
Is this the eye doctor?
No.
No.
Because this guy believed wrestling was real.
Oh, he's another no, don't say it. Go ahead, keep talking. I'll think of his name.
But he thought wrestling was real, and he hated that my dad would root for the villains.
Eddie something.
I can't remember.
The dude that thinks it's real on AEW, Eddie.
Oh, Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston,
Eddie
yeah.
Kingston.
And he thinks this shit's real.
But so he would get really upset with my dad. He's breaking the rules. How can you root for him?
He's breaking the rules. Don't root for him.
And I'll never forget. My dad took me to Bruce's house to watch WrestleMania 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How old were you?
That was been 86, I think. So I was
how many WrestleManias have there been?
This past weekend was WrestleMania 40.
Huge.
So it would have been 85. Because WrestleMania 1 would have been 80. WrestleMania 1 would have been 1984 because this is the 40th anniversary.
Okay.
So it would have been 1985 that WrestleMania 2 took place. So, but anyway, we're watching it, and it was that goofy WrestleMania that took place in New York, Chicago, and LA. So it was all broken up, but the big main event was Hogan versus Bundy in the steel cage, and that's when the first time they ever used a big blue barred steel cage.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it had to be specially reinforced because of how heavy both Hogan and Bundy were.
Right.
Well, there's a moment where Bundy is supposed to be slamming Hogan's head into the bars.
Whoa.
And he clearly comes up short. It's clear as day. And I yelled, "Oh, that looked fake." My dad elbowed me. I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Because Bruce was
right.
He was edge of his seat,
yeah, this is real. This is happening. This is real.
This is real life.
Yeah.
And so it was "Oh, I'm sorry."
We'll talk about that again.
Yeah.
Wow.
As they say on the streets, my bad.
Yeah, my bad. Bundy, man, wasn't he the one that did the cartwheels?
Who?
I
don't remember him doing cartwheels. I mean, he was...
No, who was the one that did the cartwheels?
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow, yeah, because every time we'd play the wrestling,
yeah,
I would want to be him because I'm like, I want to do cartwheels. I want to kick my people in the face with my cartwheel. Yeah. Oh my god, what game was that? Was that for the Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Nintendo game.
It was Wrestling Superstars, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, how cheesy would that be to play today? I have found out that most games that I played when I was a child, if I bring them up, play a game, I am not enjoying them. Except for the few Mario ones and Donkey Kong, obviously. But, I just don't enjoy playing old school games anymore.
I think it's rough because it is not so much that games have advanced, because they have. Mm-hmm. And even those types of games, like the Mario games, have advanced. Mm-hmm. I think what's you can't save. If you're gonna play Mario, you're playing for a few hours.
Yep.
to beat all 8 worlds.
Yep.
You know, it's not. There's no. I'm gonna.
It's more than a few hours. More than a few hours. I'm sorry, I saw that lightning out of the corner of my eye. It's more than a few hours to get to beat Mario.
Right.
And you know, because there are challenges that you have to do throughout that game to actually complete the full game.
Right.
So it's more than a few hours.
But like at the same time, I know
it's been plenty of years since the last one. I still haven't done it.
Like I don't think I could play. I don't think I could go back and play like Madden 94.
Okay.
Or NHL PA 94, which is probably one of the greatest hockey games ever.
Right.
But it's still so limited on what you can do.
Right.
And
sir. Oh my God. She jumped out the window. She said, I'm out of here. Yeah, not only that, like, I'm not talking graphics or anything. It's just like, you're right. The limitations, like the first Mario, you couldn't go back.
Right.
But I don't need to fly. I really don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it's an odd thing. Like, I you know, like, how, it's always like, what's the replayability of a game? And, like, right now, like, those games, like, they don't hold up in a way, but in other ways they kind of still do. Like, there are some games, like, from that era that I would say I'd like to go back and give another try to, like, Shadowrun. That was a really good game on the Sega Genesis. You're always
talking like games with like storylines and shit. I'm like, you know, the only game I'd be interested, like, I want to play Pac-Man again because you can always fucking beat that game. You know what I mean? But like games like, what was it, Asteroids or whatever? All you're doing is shooting shit in the sky. Like, why did we think that was so fucking exciting?
Because it was.
But you're just shooting shit in the sky.
but it was. Like, it was.
There was no purpose except shooting everybody out of the sky.
Right.
You didn't win anything. You didn't go anywhere. It was just shooting shit out of the sky. And there was those boards where when you shot them, you didn't shoot the complete ship out of the sky. You just nicked it. You know? Right. So it was like, you know?
But I mean, you have to respect it for the limitations.
Oh, I
agree.
Time. I absolutely agree.
Like, I'm not saying like you should be playing Asteroids now and being like, this is amazing.
Yeah, back then I get it, but I don't want to sit there and play it today.
Right.
Absolutely, back then I was all excited. That was awesome back then. You were like, holy shit, look what you can do. But now I don't want to sit there and revisit that.
Right.
I got Animal Crossing waiting for me.
Yeah, I know.
And Heyday. I got some Heyday. I'm going to go play on my farm for a bit. But no, I'm serious. Like, I did, because when I got that Wii U, remember, I downloaded all those old school games.
Right.
Well, now you can just freaking bring them up on your Switch. No big deal. But it was like, the original Donkey Kong is not that exciting today. But back then, whoa, that was the jam. You know what I mean? Like, woo, we're going to save the princess. You know? Now it's like, I'll jump over a few barrels. Avoid some fireballs. You know, it's like.
Well, I mean, like, but like, there are a group of people who that is. Like, I mean, they made that whole documentary about.
I know. That's just my way of thinking. I think I'm one of those people. Like, even though in my age, I'm all for progress. Right. I know a lot of people that don't want the world to change. I do. I want that freaking fine DeLorean in the sky. Okay, that's where my progress is leading. I don't know where yours is, but I'm all for progress. Where I know people that are younger than me, like, this world needs to stop changing. Why? Progress is better, man. I mean, first Mario, today's Mario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Chris Pratt is Mario.
Huh?
Chris Pratt is Mario.
Chris Pratt was Mario? I didn't know. I don't.
In the cartoon, yeah. That animated movie.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I just want to play the game. Well, they came out with a new one, but I haven't purchased it yet because I think it's ridiculously priced for a game. So I know it ain't ever going to lower, but you know, I got to weigh my options on buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks good. It looks good. That one I got for the Wii U is the one that was like a terrible Mario game.
Yeah.
The one where you were walking around the world, it was just like the dumbest fucking thing ever. Yeah, remember the one I had to buy the special control for? I was like,
right.
Jesus, this Wii U is a pain in the ass. Every game I wanted to play, I had to buy a different controller for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Wii U was free. Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why the hell were you talking about this?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Anything?
Me and you get in these conversations and we go off.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to proceedings then?
No, hopefully Ian is back next week and your listeners can re-listen again.
Yeah. Well, remember there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send us an email. Oh, I did want to... There was a note in Thad's email that...
Oh, Thad.
Yes, before I forget.
I saw on his video, I did notice because it was one of the very first videos that popped up when I did go to check Christine's pictures. It had him trying out the new lights in his house. He's like testing his going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's on it early.
He does state that I love it when Nancy's on the show. Shout out to my fave.
Huh.
Sean is wrong again. The Roman Coliseum can hold upwards of 87,000 people. That's more than Acrisure Stadium, dummy.
Wow.
Beaver Stadium could host Sean's dream date, who he jerks off to every night.
Oh, my God.
Tim and I had pictures of Tara Patrick, and Sean jerked it to a green lizard. Wow. I stand by my Godzilla fandom.
So what he's saying is Godzilla could fit in the Coliseum.
Well, he's saying Godzilla could fit in Beaver Stadium.
Oh, right, because the Coliseum takes part. Yeah.
Because that's a 100,000 seat stadium.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Acrisure is only 70.
I was thinking backwards on that one. Yeah. That dyslexic shit.
Yeah. We are 8 days away from the opening of Kennywood. In 2 weeks, I'll have my first review of 2024. Wow. Stay tuned.
2 weeks away.
Yeah. I will. I mean, you thought I'll give that shit all the time about like the goofy shit he does with the Halloween stuff, but that what makes him happy. So, go on with your bad self. He goes to Kennywood. That's what makes him happy. Go on with your bad self. I just think it's overpriced for somebody who's only going to go once a year.
Yeah.
I don't even do that because it's overpriced.
Yeah, it's way overpriced. Last time I was Kennywood was to do some light up night with my niece, and I think we ate some potato patch fries, waited for the fireworks, and got the hell out of there. Yeah. That was it. I'm not a Kennywood fan.
No.
I'm not an amusement park fan, but that's because I lived in Florida and that shit is...
Right.
Yeah, I'm done.
My problem is I've reached that grumpy old man point.
Get off my lawn, grumpy old man.
Yeah. That, like, crowds annoy me.
You gotta wait for a crowd? One person next to me annoys me.
Right.
I don't need a crowd to be annoyed.
But, everything about Kennywood, everything about an amusement park is just crowd-based. And I'm at a point now where it's like,
It's terrible that the only place that you can get a potato patch fry that I'm aware of is Kennywood, Idlewild, and the PNC Park.
Yeah.
And I don't have no desire to go to any three, except I wouldn't mind going to a pirate game, but it would have to be a good one.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, you can reach out and touch us, and that email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com.
Yahoo!
You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very, very easy to find. And we are on a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search and find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, want to thank you, dear listener, for taking the time to check us out each and every week. We can't thank you enough for your support. And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
See ya.